Saint Philomena, Wonder Worker. What is the purpose of suffering? That's what the girl asked when she came into my bookstore. She was young and I'm old. What could she know of suffering? I, on the other hand, was diagnosed with cancer. My body aches. The incision from surgery means I can't even lift down the books that I treasure here at Shepherd's Crook. But still I smile. Perhaps, I say to her, the Wonder Worker can give you some answers. And so I watch as the girl takes the book that I have been looking at myself. My eyes watch as she goes over every word. In the year 304, Philomena was 13 years old. She was the daughter of a king on the island of Greece. It was an enchanted life, an easy life for a pretty girl. But there were heavy clouds on the horizon. Her world was about to be shattered. Across the sea in Rome, Italy, the Emperor Diocletian was ready for an all-out war against the new religion of Christianity. Emperors believed they were gods. Religion should be controlled by the state. And that was what Diocletian planned to do. Killing Christians while crowds watched and cheered became a method of control. And now, the emperor had set his sights on controlling the island of Greece. When word came to Philomena's father, the family gathered in prayer. It was the first time the young girl felt a serious need to pray, and so she poured her heart out to God. The next day, her family set out on board a ship sailing to Rome. Her father wanted to plead with the emperor for peace. But Diocletian was distracted as the king of Greece was talking. The girl who stood before him was beautiful. He desired her. And what Diocletian desired, he would have. His feelings were more important than anything else. "Give me your daughter and I'll leave your little country alone," he said. The king of Greece was appalled. He could not give his daughter to this man. But soldiers came and forced the parents back onto a boat. They were shipped home as if they were luggage. Now, Philomena was alone. She stood up straight. She was a princess after all. But no matter what she said or how she bargained, Diocletian held on to her. When she pushed him away, he ordered that she be tortured. Her good looks were not enough to save her. The girl learned a lifetime of things in the weeks that followed. She was terrified to have her body attacked. She feared the pains that were going to come. She grieved for her family. It was overwhelming. But then she poured out her heart to the Lord, our God. And God whispered to her 4 important things. "This too shall pass," he said. "The pain will only be for an hour or a day or a short time, but eternity will last forever." Number 2, let the prayers that you already know be like a worry stone to take away fear and give you comfort. All the saints and angels will be with you in those prayers. Don't stop. Say them again and again. Number 3, your suffering can be united with the suffering of Jesus on the cross. Then you, only a young girl, can help souls all around the world. Your suffering joins with Jesus to help those who are unbelievers or sinners. Suffer with dignity, knowing that Jesus stands with you. Number 4, after you go through all of these trials on earth, you will be purified. All of your pride and sins will be taken away, and you will live in joy forever in heaven." Philomena took all these words to heart. The soldiers came and they whipped her before an audience. In her mind, as she was repeating her prayers, Philomena saw angels who wiped away her tears. When Philomena was still smiling, Diocletian had her taken to the sea. Soldiers tied an anchor around her waist and threw her overboard. She gulped in the water. Her body was pulled down, down, down. She clung to praying the Our Father, and then 2 angels appeared. They cut away the anchor, and she came back to the surface. The soldiers thought she was a magician. They brought her to the theater where they would shoot her body with arrows. But the arrows seemed to deflect away from her body. Soldiers yelled again and again at the archers, "Get her!" Finally, the arrows turned in midair and came back, wounding soldiers. Philomena knew that miracles were happening on her behalf. She trusted God more and more. God would show her the way. When Diocletian saw all that was happening, he wanted to be done with the girl. "Chop off her head," he yelled. Philomena had already endured many things. She knew that her life and her death was in God's hands. She trusted in Him and prayed for all those who have no faith. She said she would help anyone from her place in heaven, especially those who were suffering. After Philomena died, miracles began to happen at her grave. For hundreds of years now, people pray and ask the young girl for help, and they have been healed. Sicknesses cured, limbs mended, daggers stopped. When the girl closed the book, the shopkeeper said, "I've been praying to Saint Philomena myself, but I'm struggling, I'm afraid." The girl looked up at the old man. "I think it's going to be okay. God hears your prayers." Then I couldn't believe it. She vanished. "I think Philomena, the wonder worker, has just visited me."